Well, the big build-up, the new age of Manchester United, the rejuvenated Manchester United. Was this a false dawn? Well, we get brought back down to earth with a big bang today. It was just one nightmare after another in the first half, and it was unsavable in the second half. We just had no chance whatsoever of bringing that back. We can take positives from the first half. From the second half. We can take the fact that we didn't let our heads drop as such. We stayed in the game. We actually won the second half 3-2, you could say. It is fully on clutching at straws time for it, but it belongs to City today. And to be fair to them, they deserve it. They smelt blood and they went for it. They went for the kill. They smelt blood because Manchester United just, again, this reverted back to how they was last season. How can you go from the positivity of the last 4 games in the league, the 4 wins, and that mindset against decent teams as well, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then go to that again, it was kind of worse than Ranić's Derby Day demolishing that we got. It was worse than Solskjaer's in a way in that first half. It was pitiful. And the criticism that's coming for the defence, yeah, it's there. It's due. There were some mistakes, but it wasn't them that were at fault in this game. It really wasn't. I mean, I looked at it from the get-go. Oliver giving a stupid yellow card to Dalot pretty much gave Grealish the green light to run absolute riot down Manchester United's right-hand side. We couldn't touch him. We weren't allowed to touch him because Oliver had given a yellow card to Dalot. And I said it. I tweeted it out. I said, Dalot needs to come off now. Unfortunately, we didn't react to it, and Rashford threw a suicide pass to Malacia. He gets the yellow card. So then we got to choose between 2 fullbacks to sub off. We've only got 1 fullback on the bench in Luke Shaw, and by then it was too late. And that just showed you how bad that first half went, that both fullbacks had such a nightmare of a game that we were picking and choosing which one to bring off. I'm not going to throw Dalot under the bus or Malacia under the bus. He just had bad games. And Dalot was brought on pretty much by, an ill-timed challenge. It wasn't malicious. It definitely wasn't worth a yellow card. I mean, I know Luke Shaw did one in the second half, if not worse, didn't get a yellow card. That was just Oliver being Oliver and playing up to the scene, playing up to the actual occasion. And it destroyed us. Because, like I said, Grealish then just had free reign and everything came down that left-hand side for City. And they were just tearing us apart every time they got the ball. Then we had the unfortunate incident of conceding the corner and Varane's not in the box. And for some reason, we've got no leader that's actually putting ourselves or commanding that area and saying we need someone better in the air than Christian Eriksen to be marking Haaland. I mean, seriously, you've got one of the most dominant centre forwards in the air in the box and you put Christian Eriksen. Now you tell me which other City player is a threat in that box. We needed leadership. You tell me which other City player is barely over 6 foot who's coming into that box? You've got a 6'4", 6'5" striker in Haaland. He's the main threat from the corner, and it's Eriksen. Where is Scott McTominay? Where is Scott McTominay in this? Do you know what? Even Marcus Rashford, someone a bit bigger, Bruno Fernandes, a player who's actually over 6 foot. That's what we needed on that. It should have been Scott McTominay taking charge of that there. Varane being off did not help. I'm sure Varane would have been the man that took Haaland. And there you go. You can't look back on it. C'est la vie, 2-0 down and completely up against it. We know this Manchester United team hasn't got 3 goals in them. And the game was pretty much gone at 2-0. But when you look at it, it was 2 simple mistakes. 2 simple defensive mistakes that cost us early doors in that game. Oliver didn't help, but Dalot diving in, playing up to the occasion. And I think we struggled with the occasion. We let the occasion get the better of us. And that's what City did. City did brilliantly. They played to the crowd. They played to their strengths. I said it at the start of the game. I didn't understand Pep's team selection at first, leaving Diaz, leaving Laporte on the bench. But Pep was that confident in his team that he put his weakened side. That wasn't City's strongest side, and they absolutely battered us. And that pretty much, barring Martial, Casemiro, possibly Ronaldo, an argument there, was our strongest team. And we got absolutely annihilated. Why? Because we bottled it. We bottled the occasion. The occasion completely got the better of us. Once City went 2-0 up, the whole system went to pot. And that's that thing that I keep talking about. You can talk about putting players in certain positions and being organised, but when that mental block goes, which Manchester United players have got, it's still there from last season, I said, and I've said it all the time, it's been on a knife edge. We can go either way. And what this does to our season, I do not know. The only positive I'm taking from it was the reaction in the second half. We didn't get the Brentford reaction. We didn't get the reaction of United last season. Yes, City took the foot off the gas, made substitutes, and it sort of just made the game easier. But what we did show was a little bit of just keep going. Let's see what we can do. Stay in the game. We battled it out. We won the second half. We scored 3 goals. That's all right on its own. It shows you that there's a little bit of fight there, but the absolute capitulation that this team showed in the first half is more than worrying. It really is. It's like as soon as anyone decent comes up against us and puts that pressure on, it just shows where we are. We know these players have got the capabilities. We've seen it. We've seen them beat Liverpool and Arsenal well. We've seen them perform and defend as a team. But when something goes wrong, and this is the first time in all this turnaround in form that we concede a goal. Every time United concede a goal this season, as much of good we've had, they've been bad moments, but every time we've conceded a goal, we've lost a game. All 4 games we've lost this season. What was it? Brighton, Brentford, Real Sociedad got 1 goal. We couldn't come back against them. And then obviously City today. Every time we concede the first goal, we're dead. That's the ultimate worry. I didn't want to shout it out where I was watching the game that as soon as City scored, I thought that was it. I thought, you know what? I want to see first. I want to see what this team has got. Can they show that mental grit that they show when they're in front in these games and defending as a team and being together as a team? Can they show that when they go a goal behind? No, they capitulated under one of the best attacking teams in world football. Yes. And if you give them a foot, they're going to take a meter. That's what City did. And they just tear us apart. I said before the game, I said we need to watch out for Kevin De Bruyne. Bang, bang, bang. How many assists? The guy just picks out passes out of nowhere. And when you've got the best striker in the world, which Haaland is, on the end of him, you don't stand a chance. It's the Foden hat-trick, which riles me even more. Because he's basically walked through that game unchallenged. All game. He's just walked through it. It's probably the easiest game that he's had to play in his career. And it's against Manchester United. It was easier than what it was under Solskjaer and Ranić that first half for the likes of Foden and Grealish. Grealish has been crap all season. Foden's bin off it. Roll in Manchester United and their tails are up. There we go. Their season City well and truly started now. Is this the moment when they just start stretching away from Manchester United? Well, the test will come. The test is Everton away next weekend. Not an easy game. We should be more than comfortable enough to beat Omonia on Thursday night. That's a given, I think, in my eyes. If we don't, then there really is cause for concern. But that Everton game next Sunday, I think there needs to be changes. I've just been speaking to Rick then. I said, I can't see Martial not starting that game. Rashford up front today was a disaster case. He really was. His attitude, his whole sort of persona and the way he held himself looked one of a man beaten in the first 10 minutes. Sancho was diabolical for me. He was absolutely shocking. Credit for Anthony for his attitude in the second half. But I'm past looking for positives at that moment. There's nothing else I can say. There's no one else I can think of that's actually deserving of a 5 out of 10. I mean, Martial gets a 6 or a 7 because he come on and scored 2 goals. He showed more in 10 minutes. And he didn't even touch the ball for about 15 minutes of being on the pitch. But when you've got a number 9 like that, who's just going to do that moment, that's what City have got in Haaland. He doesn't do anything. He just scores goals. And that's what you want your number 9 to do. Martial came on, took a chance, got in the 6-yard box from a shot from Fred, exactly where you want your number 9. And he held the ball up well and brought on the challenge to get the penalty. And he will 100%. We've seen it in pre-season. Ten Hag wanted to go with Martial. I think he's just proven the point now by becoming Manchester United's leading goal scorer this season, joint, which goes to show how bad our performance in front of goal has been this season. That's only 9th, 10th, and 11th goals of the season. That's it. That's all we've got, 11 goals scored. Now back to -3, dropping down the table again. This team needs to bounce back against Everton next week, or the fan base. We've seen them leaving at half-time, before half-time today. That's a new record, especially away from home for Manchester United. Liverpool last season, half-time people walking out. United fans were leaving before half-time today. The only thing I can say is, thank God I didn't spend stupid amounts of money on a ticket, because United don't give tickets and don't have a decent system in terms of handing out tickets of fans that really deserve them. But thankfully, I wasn't there to witness that, and that's the only positive I can take from it. Guys, we're going on to the fan forum. You're probably watching that now. This video will be out after that. But cheers for watching, everybody. It is a sad day for Manchester United fans. Go hide over the next few days because the stick and the banter is incoming big time in this one. Oh, what a horrible, horrible day.